Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
We are here to meet one of our founding fathers to understand the how Barakat Nursery and Primary School and Barakat Group of Schools now came into being, to know what motivated them to start the school then, and what's the driving force behind the sustainability of the school. So today we are with our father, Professor Atere-Akeukereke. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi. Thank you.
Okay, sir. Sir, we want to know what motivated you. We know that 40 years ago, most of you were like us then, doing something of great, like establishing Barakat. What motivated you, sir?
Yeah, as
And
one of
others?
the youngest member of the founders, then the major factor was that dominantly you have the Christian nursery primary school around. And even myself, you know, my first daughter went to Baptist Olori-Aje. And by the time we are there coming up with the Muslim school came up, then we had to rally around and ensure that, yeah, the Islamic Education Foundation came up with Barakat Nursery Primary School. And you know, for years, it was primary, not until recently, that we have the college. But alhamdulillah, we are progressing.
Okay. Sir, can you just give us a roll call of those who you think are part of the IEF, who started it?
Yeah, you know, those that are actually active in the formation of the IEF, you have late Olori-Aje, who was a real jihadist. You know, he was an Imam of Nawarudeen, but he was putting prayer on people like Noibi, Prof. Malik, 𝐒𝐏, and rallying around to ensure that Arisekola came in as a patron. And the role of Aare then, you know, more or less the initial funder of the program, because I remember vividly that this land was formerly owned by Woman of Man, and by the time they were to pay the money to Housing Corporation, it was Aare that backrolled the cost. That means Arisekola that backrolled the cost of the land. So as a result, we have Baba A.G.H. Alauddin, Baba Matala, the secretary to the Imam Council then, and A.J. Bello, Alhaji Bashir Akinola, and yeah, a few others like that, including the powerful woman who still remain as a strong member of the IEF, Alhaji Surura Oyelo. Then he was a principal of one of the schools, the public schools in the town. So I think briefly, those were the funders of Islamic Education Foundation then, and they struggled to ensure that we at a stage received the support through Prof. Malik. We received the support of the Islamic Development Bank. Then Arisekola, as the patron of the IEF, was the signatory to the pledge from the Islamic Development Bank. Until death, he remained the main signatory, and the support of IDF noteworthy in terms of construction of this place. And again, we simply appreciate the effort of Engineer Azeez, who was the consultant to the project. It's unfortunate he's very ill now. And there's one man we call, initially, 𝐒𝐏𝐿 was the contractor for the construction of this, because 𝐒𝐏𝐿 was the contractor for Arisekola, Aare, Musulumi of Yorubaland. But after his demise, there's one we call Baba Masha, who was very active in terms of the activities here. He did about 60% of the construction that time, particularly when the IDB was trying to threaten us that if we fail to progress on the project, we have to refund whatever they have been able to give. Then it was then I became a kind of a sole administrator, and I was given a name by Arisekola then, Agbuopa, because I would be there in the morning to release the fund, because it's the man that will release whenever IDB remitted money to the account to see that we pay it out. And alhamdulillah, today we have the solid school, and those foundation effort is being appreciated by the BOSA members now, because you can now say that at the school premises, we have projects being sponsored by one or two members of the BOSA group. We thank Allah for this. And BOSA means Barakat Old Student Association.
Yeah. We want to thank you for those historical background. Then, one thing I know about you, the founding fathers, you not only established this school, you sustained this school over time. So what can you tell us about the sustainability of this school to this?
Yeah, the sustainability is the effort of the managers. You know, for a long time, we have Alhaji as headmistress. She did her own bit before she left. And later, Okere-Emilekun, now Professor Azeez. She, as a mother, she was very good in taking care of children. And as a result, she was one of the factors that motivated people to send children to the school. And recently, the idea of a manager came up. And for years now, Alhaji has been the manager of the school, coordinating both the nursery, the primary, and successfully the college, which is about 5 years old. So the school fees paid by children has been the source of maintenance in terms of management and funding and organization of the school, because you have teachers. Teachers have to be paid, and if there's no school fees, there's nobody that can take care of them. And there's some people will be saying feasibility. I don't know what people mean by feasibility, because when you are a teacher in a school, must be paid his or her salary, and there's nothing that you pay except through school fees. As a result, it has been the school fees, parents and friends of the school, even members that are usually contribute, members of Ivy, they usually contribute money for the progress of the school. So as a result, when it comes to sustainability, it has been the support of both the parents, the members of management, as well as those teachers that are in the school, because you cannot clap with one hand. This cooperative effort has been the effort that's sustaining the school.
I would like to still go back to where you just stopped from. That the school is, we've heard it from different quarters. That school is a feasibility school and a community school. Although we don't understand what they mean, we don't understand what they meant by that. I know there are some institutions that the school is being sponsored by Saudi Arabia.
There was never a time in terms of Saudi Arabia sponsored anything in Barakat life. The only support during the construction life was that of Islamic Development Bank.
Okay.
So when people say feasibility, I don't seem to. Yeah, in two ways. For those members of IF that are running around here and there to see to the success and progress of the school, since they are not being paid salary, theirs is feasibility life. But for teachers that are teaching in the school, they have to pay their salary, and they are buying food from the same market where the millionaires are buying their own food. So if you pay them less, there is problem. And that was the more reason. Even recently, Barakato students that discovered that the salary being paid to teachers so minimal, so small, compared with what is happening now. The economy as it's hard. That they suggested that school fees must be increased. And even the increment in the school fees is not high compared with other schools around. So I don't know why people are clamoring that school fees is this and that, and feasibility. There's nothing like feasibility.
For those who are not part of the internal workings of the school, sir, can you please just give us a rundown of the highest amount paid by students of Barakat?
Specifically, I may not go straight to say that, yeah, this is what they are paying, this is not they are paying. Like, recently a parent was telling me that the school fees was increased by 75%, whereas the increase in the school fees is just about 50%. And when you look at 50% increase, it's not the same as those schools. You have the ISI there, you have the school there in Bashorun, what's the name there? You have the international school, Bodija here.
We don't want to ever.
Yeah, so all those schools, they are there, and you look at their school fees and compare. In fact, the spirit of Islam is still governing the increment in school fees here, because yes, for Muslims, we don't believe in creating hardship for people. As a result, the school fees here is still minimal compared with other schools, without necessarily saying, oh, this is what they are paying, this is what we are paying, and it's still minimal. Like I spoke with some parents, and they agreed that yes, in fact, parents even agreed that the school fees is not too bad, except that they want to say that, oh, we contributed to the finalization of the school fees. That is just a matter of participation. Okay. I think their problem is participation, not necessarily increase in school fees.
Okay. Now, since we are getting this kind of feedback from and information from you as our father, who is part of the day, to more overseeing, apart from the managers, you still support in overseeing the school. What advice will you give to BOSA?
No, any day, anytime. The BOSA members still need to show commitment, dedication, and involvement, both BOSA at home and in diaspora. And I'm happy that you are rallying around, but there is still need for more efforts to ensure that a lot of development come the way of the school. And as time goes on, from 20, 30, 40 years, 40 years of age in Nigeria, at least we had record of being a governor. So people in Barakatu will be this and that. So definitely there is need for more involvement of old students association to ensure that the sustainability of the school is upheld and that parent member of IAF will be given time to rest while you people will continue to be going up and down and see to the success of the school. Some of you are accountants, some of you are managers, some of you are professors here and there. Then what else?
So finally, before you round up this session, so I would like to just ask you a question from you. Looking back 40 years when you started this, are you fulfilled?
Oh, of course. You see, there have been schools of the same age with Barakat, or even perhaps older than Barakat. Today, we may not say much about such school in terms of existence. That Barakat is not just alive, but progressing in terms of membership of students. Look at the population of the school, high. Then look at the activeness of the old students, very encouraging. And again, when you come to the school, look at the physical infrastructure. What we have originally is just the one side of the compound, but you look at the left side of the compound, you see this college rising. Again, you know, joint parents already donated a big hall, which is under construction, and you have the mosque there, another product of old student effort. A big mosque like this, that mosque there is even bigger than the one in Lekki. So as a result, the school is actually progressing, and we will not say any other word that we are fulfilled, but we still more effort to be ensured that at least the rising spirit of the school continue to rise and never to come down in life. So this is my conclusion. May Allah continue to bless the effort of the BOSA members and all other members that are involved in the management of the school, particularly the Ya Baraka. You know, we have the Ya Baraka. The Ya Baraka is Alhaji Asura Oyero, who is enjoying herself somewhere else. Now.
Okay.
I want to ask you about some of the challenges Barakat has had in the past. And how you've been able to overcome
some of the challenges we had in the past. You know, there was a time we had an headmaster that was problematic. Unfortunately, that time, the person that's supposed to be the eye of the IAF itself was not forthcoming. But alhamdulillah, at that time, the enrollment was very low, and teachers too were not as active. In fact, the cooperation there was not as solid. But today, we have that solid management, solid staff, and high population of students. Though we are still expecting more. And some people said, oh yes, some people said, Christian teachers here and there. Since the beginning of Barakat, the ratio of Christians to Muslim teachers in this class always been very low, 2 to 10, 1 to 11. And today, you can say that it's just 2 to about 30 or 40. So as a result, the problem of teachers, we have enough teachers now. One of the problems we had recently was when the state government recruited teachers, thousands of primary, thousands of secondary. You have teachers from private school drifting to government end. But today, we have overcome. Now have, and the manager herself, you know, the practice of playing a part is to put yourself into it. She put herself into the shoe of manager and she was in control. Today, when you get to the school, you see that the environment is fit and the children are enjoying, they are learning, and there is progress in terms of performance. So virtually, to some extent, those initial problems had been overcome. And we only hope that we are building on whatever has been the achievement as of now.
I have another question.
Yes.
What is your plan? What is the plan of IAF in sustaining the school continuity?
Oh, the plan of IAF, which we definitely be dovetail into the plan of BOSA, because the youth will definitely be thinking high than the elderly. I think what the plan of IAF is to ensure that a proper handing over to those that are coming behind with a view of thinking high for the development of the school, which we have been seeing now, because the effort of those young ones, that is the old students, It's been yielding a lot of fruits. Anybody coming to these premises now, we know that activities in terms of physical development, in terms of enrollment, in terms of teacher participation is on. So definitely the plan of IAF is to see a positive growing image of the Barakat group of schools, and to see that those that have graduated from the school, they are ensuring that they are contributing their own both physical, intellectual, spiritual, and financially to the development of the school, which I think they are all up to the task.
So in terms of ownership, who do you intend to hand over?
No, in terms of ownership, when you talk of IAF they have children, and the children, the children will have to step into the school of IAF. So IAF is IAF. You need Bosa in name or whatever. It's IAF.
So IAF is handing over to Bosa.
Of course, that should be that is the normal thing. Either a document, of course, that will come. That is the next line of the actual as time goes on, inshallah.
Finally, I want to just add something, and it's an appreciation. I want to thank you, our fathers, for naming the school Barakat. That Barakat, I believe, brought a lot of al-barakah.
Allah, yes, of course. Allah has put his Barakat.
Barakat to
Alhamdulillah.
the school. So, Alhamdulillah, we thank you, and we thank Almighty Allah for that. Thank you very much for your time, sir. I really appreciate your time. We thank you, sir.
Thank you for
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I'm Honorable Sharafaddin Olatunji Muhammed. I was the assistant head boy for 1992 sets of Barakat.
Kausar Oloso-Ajao, 91 sets.
Saida Oyero-Oloko. Oyelakin-Durotola, 94 sets.
We thank Almighty Allah for giving us this opportunity to carry out this interview, to understand this history behind the school Barakat, so that, like people will say, without Tiobasan or Kosoni, Tiobasoni Konisola. So, and the theme of our celebration is Barakat yesterday, today, and tomorrow. In order to understand, we need to understand the yesterday. That's why we are with our Babas, to understand where they are today, so that we can take it forward for tomorrow. Thank you very much, and Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.